So, this is the second part of our lecture on Aryabhatiya. So, in the earlier part, so we saw the algorithms presented by Aryabhata for extracting square root, cube root and so on. So, in this lecture we will be starting with the formulae given by Aryabhata for finding the area of various geometrical objects. So, starting with triangle, then proceeding towards trapezium, circle and so on. So, in the later part, so we will see the approximation which has been given by Aryabhata for the value of pi and the method which has been discussed by him for generating the sine table. So, in fact, Aryabhata has given two different approaches for constructing sine table. So, one is the geometrical approach, the other is the analytic approach. So, we will see both of them, and then during our discussion on the verse which gives the value of pi. So, we will also see an interesting note which has been given by the commentator Bhaskara on the use of the word asanna. So, this has been discussed at great length even by Nilakantha Somyaji, which will be covered later, but here we will see the note which has been given by Bhaskara on the use of the word asanna. So, let us start with the verse which presents the formula for the area of a triangle. So, Aryabhata says Tribhujasya phalashariram samadala koti bhujardha samvargaha. So, normally we say half into base into height. So, it is essentially the same expression which has been presented. Tribhujasya, bhuja is side, tribhuja is a triangle, phalashariram, phalam is the word which has been employed by people to refer to the area. So, here the word shariram should be understood as pramana, the measure of the area. Tribhujasya phalashariram samadala koti bhujardha samvargaha. So, ardha is half, samvarga is product. So, samadala koti bhuja, bhuja is a side. Okay. So, normally we are familiar with half into base into height. So, here this bhuja can be taken to be the side which is base and the samadala koti is the height. Okay. So, in fact, the word samadala koti has been analyzed by the commentator Bhaskara. See, in a triangle usually if we have a right angle triangle, so let us say ABC. So, if AB is bhuja, then AC is koti, and of course, this is called karna. So, if these two of course can be interchanged depending upon the choice of the angle. Okay. So, one is bhuja, the other is koti and the third is karna. Now, if you consider a scalene triangle, so this is the part which we are calling as samadala koti. So, samadala koti and this is bhujardha. So, this is the base, this is the height, half of it is the area of the triangle. So, in fact, the word dala is generally used to refer to half, splitting. Okay. So, dala means, so samadala, so generally is taken to be so equal division. Okay. So, when you sort of divide, so this is how the meaning as such comes from that, but then if we use this, then it will not be applicable for all the triangles. So, in fact, Bhaskara so commences his discussion by classifying the triangles into three types. He says Trini kshetrani sama dvisama vishamani. So, sama is all the three sides are same. So, dvisama is isosceles and vishama is scalene triangle. Bhuja, Bahuhu, Parshvam iti Paryayaha, they are all synonyms, and there are 3 types of triangles. Further continuing the discussion, he says Tribhuja Kshetra Jatim Angikritya Ekavachana Nirdeshaha. In fact, we should have 3 types of triangles. So, whose area are you specifying? Is it applicable to all the triangles, or is it something which is specific to one of the 3 types or any of the 3 types? So, he says this Ekavachana, so this singular usage is Jati Angikritya. Jati means, so the group of all, okay, the class. So, it is applicable across the class of the triangles. Ekavachana Nirdeshaha. Phalasya Shariram, Phalashariram, Phalapramanam ityartaha. So, then he goes on to discuss about the word Samadala Koti. So, if you say Same Dale Yasyaha Seyam Samadala, so if you use this kind of derivation of the word, then this will be confined to only these 2 types. Okay. So, Samadala. So, if you drop a perpendicular, then so the perpendicular divides the base into 2 equal halves only in these 2 cases, but not in the scalene type. But this formula which has been presented for area is applicable to all types. So, then how do you understand the word Samadala Koti? So, this is the question which has been raised by Bhaskara, and he actually quotes a very interesting maxim, I would say, Rudheshu Kriya Vyutpatti Karmartha na Artha Kriya. So, the word Samadala Koti should be considered as a Rudha word. So, Rudha in the sense, so you should not try to find the derived meaning of the word, and it has to be just, for instance, so in the case of the word Aja in Sanskrit. So, Aja is generally referred to as a goat, but if you go to the derived meaning, that which is not born, so it is never applicable to goat. Okay. So, when you consider this a Rudha, so you just have to accept whatever is the meaning which has been accepted by the society at that point. So, that is what he is trying to convey. So, Rudheshu, and if at all you want to provide some kind of a Vyutpatti, it is not for the purposes of Artha Kriya, but this is a very interesting maxim, so which can be applied in various disciplines, various contexts. Here, so he categorically states Avalambaka Vyutpattya Trayanamapi Phalanayanam Siddham, and therefore, this derivation should not be taken in the literal sense here. So, Samadala Koti should be simply understood as the perpendicular that is dropped onto the base from the vertex. Okay. So, this is what the Sutra, Aryabhata Sutra means. Tribhuja Phala, so the area of the triangle is Bhujardha, so half of the base into Samadala Koti height. So, this is all it is. So, it is applicable to all the 3 types of triangles. So, this verse basically tells you that the area can be calculated using this formula. But then if you do not know the height, so you only know the sides of the triangle, then how do you go about finding the area? So, then there should be a way to find out the height of the triangle. So, that is what is discussed by Bhaskara in his commentary. So, the word Abadha has been employed to refer to the 2 parts which are generated by dropping the perpendicular from the vertex. Okay. If you drop the perpendicular, which is referred to as Samadala Koti, you get 2 Abadhas. So, Bhaskara essentially gives a certain method by which you first calculate the Abadhas, and then from that you find out the Samadala Koti. So, if you know only the sides, so you know the base, so that is taken for granted, and for finding height, so based on the 3 sides, so he presents a formula. This is how it goes. So, first he gives an expression for the difference in the Abadhas, and the difference in Abadhas, so BD minus CD. So, BD is one Abadha, CD is another Abadha. So, the difference is C square minus B square by A. So, this can be easily seen, and we have an expression for the difference in Abadhas in terms of the sides of this. Okay. So, if we have this, basically So, ABC so this is D. So, BD plus CD is equal to A, which is known, and BD minus CD is given to be C square minus B square in this. So, once we have these two, we have the expression for, so just add this and subtract this. So, you have the expression for the two abadhas. So, this is stated to be half of bhumi. Bhumi is the word which is used to refer to the base. So, bhumi plus minus A difference. So, this gives you the expression for both the abadhas. So, having known this abadha, so it is since you know C, you can calculate P either from this abadha or from the other abadha. So, it is basically Karna square. So, the Karna can be either C or B depending upon either of the triangles that you choose. So, this is what Bhaskara says. Bhujayor Varga Vishesha, in fact, it is very interesting to read the way he presents this. Bhujayor Varga Vishesha Tayorva Samasa Visheshabhyasaha. Bhuja is the side, Varga is square, Vishesha is difference. Okay. Bhujayor Varga Vishesha means C square minus B square. Tayorva Samasa Visheshabhyasaha. Samasa is putting together, essentially means sum, and Vishesha is difference. So, he says B square minus C square is C plus B into C minus B, and that is also equal to Abadhantara Samasa Visheshabhyasaha. So, the sum of the two abadhas and the difference of the two abadhas. So, this is straight away seen from the consideration of these two triangles. Okay. So, you get this. So, this is the first relation that he says. So, then A, from this expression we see that, so A difference is, so C square minus B square, so which is what we stated in the earlier slide, and therefore abadha is this. So, this is how Bhaskara proceeds. In fact, he cites a verse Antara Hiram. See, so whenever you have something of this form, this is called Antara, this is called Samasa. So, you have to just sum this and then find the difference. In fact, this is sort of demonstrated with a formula example. So, Karnas Trayodashasyat Panchadashanyo Mahi Dvisaptaiva Vishamat Tribhujasya Sakhe Phala Sankhya Ka Bhavedasya. So, this is, there are Bhaskara presents several examples on various occasions wherever he has to illustrate the use of a particular formula. So, I will skip this. Basically, he presents how one finds the area of a triangle. So, given the three sides and you have to calculate the height, and from abadha you have to get the area. So, now I move on to the area of circle, so which has been presented by Aryabhata. This is a very interesting, so in fact it is a half verse wherein he has used the word eva. So, Samaparinahasya Vishkambhardha Hatameva Vritta Phalam. So, this eva has a lot of significance. Parinaha refers to circumference. So, Vishkambhardha is, Vishkambha is diameter, so Ardha is half of it. So, Samaparinahasya Ardham, so it refers to half the circumference. So, the arc has to be absolutely symmetrical, that is what it means. So, Samaparinahasya Ardham Vishkambhardha Hatam, so means multiplied by the radius, semi diameter. So, this is the Vritta Phalam, fine. So, this amounts to pi into r square, fine. So, commenting on the usage of the word eva, so which is quite edifying. So, he says, Bhaskara says evakara karanam. So, why did Aryabhata use the word eva? So, is it meaningless or can we assign some sense to that? So, this is the analysis which he does. Evakara karanam, taking a very simplistic view, one can say, so in certain cases, so we have to fulfill the metrical compulsions, and therefore, so one adds some word which need not be necessarily conveying something which is very meaningful. So, this is one way of saying that eva has been used just to fit the meter of the verse. So, eva karakaranam arya purnartham pratipattavyam athava eva karakaranena upaya niyamaha kriyate. So, upaya niyamaha means upaya is means, niyama is fixing. So, putting a certain constraint on the means which you can employ for finding the area. So, is there any other means? No, there is no other mean, you have to use only this way. So, that is the way this has to be understood, upaya niyamaha kriyate. So, samaparinahasya artham vishkambharda hatameva vrittaphalam nanyadupayantaramasthi. So, there is no other means. So, this is the only means to obtain the exact area of a circle. So, nanyadupayantaramasthi, why should he say? So, if there are different paths to reach a place, then you can say choose only this path. If there is only one path, then there is no point in saying that you have to go only by this path. So, then he starts, he asks this question, no, this does not seem to be appropriate, naitadasti upayantara shravanat. So, there are also other means. So, what is that upaya? So, he says anyatra vyasadha kritihi trisanguna ganitam. So, somewhere it is stated, so vyasardha kriti, vyasardha is radius, kriti is square. So, vyasardha kriti r square multiplied by 3. So, which means the value of pi is approximately taken to be 3, and for various practical purposes people have been employing this. So, in order to see that those things are not taken to be the right formula to be employed for finding the area of a triangle. So, this evakara, through this eva Aryabhata has given a certain guideline that this is the way to obtain the exact area. So, naitadupayantaram sukshmam kintu vyavaharikam. So, the other upayas have to be understood as vyavaharika means for certain transactional purposes where you do not require that kind of a accuracy. So, next we move on to the area of trapezium. Ayama gune parshve tad yoga hrite swapata rekhe te vistara yogartha gune nyeyam kshetra phalam ayame. So, in fact, the later half of the verse actually presents the area of a trapezium, and the earlier half of the verse has been used to define something else. Kshetra phalam, kshetra is a certain geometrical figure. So, that is the sense in which it has been used. This kshetra phalam is the area of this kshetra. Vistara yogardha gune. Vistara here is used to refer to the base and the face. Okay. In this figure, BC is the base and AD is the face. Yoga is sum, Vistara yoga, ardha is half. Okay. Vistara yogardha guna is multiplying. So, Vistara yogardha guna, so what is the other term? Ayama. Okay. So, ayama is used to refer to this perpendicular distance, the distance of separation between the base and the face. Okay. So, the area of trapezium is half times, so base plus face into ayama. So, this is the formula which he gives. So, what is the earlier part of the verse? So, here he says ayama gune. So, ayama is this distance I said, so which is marked as p here. Ayama gune parshve. So, when ayama is multiplied by the parshva, so parshva is also basically the side. Okay. So, tad yoga hrite. So, this BC and AD are also referred to as two parshvas. Okay. So, ayama gune parshve. So, this F into P and B into P. So, tad yoga hrite. yoga is again sum. Tad yoga here refers to the sum of the base and the face, the two parshvas, tad yoga hrite f plus b and f. So swapata rekhe te. Okay. So pata rekha refers to C and D. So if you consider, so two diagonals drawn, so then so this is the formula that has been presented. So in fact the next verse is a very interesting verse. So wherein analysis has been done, deep analysis has been done by Bhaskara, which is quite edifying when we look at his commentary. He says sarvesham kshetranam, a generalized approach to finding area. So he initially started with triangle, then he moved on to trapezium, then he discussed about circle. So then he says, is there a way, general way of understanding how do we compute area? Can we see some kind of a similarity, or can we do something so that, I mean, a general formula prescription can be given and you can fit in different cases into this by and consider as a special case in all the three things. So that is the kind of analysis which has been done by Bhaskara while commenting upon this verse. So sarvesham kshetranam, see kshetra is a geometrical figure, I said, sarvesham kshetranam, all the geometrical figures, prasadhya parshve phalam tadabhyasaha. So prasadhya parshve, so you have to just find the sides, appropriate value of the sides, take a product of this. See the approach is, so area is product of two things. So with this in mind, he says the parshva has to be defined appropriately for various objects. So that is the import of this, is what is conveyed by Bhaskara. So sarvesham kshetranam prasadhya parshve phalam tadabhyasaha, phalam is area, tadabhyasaha is the product. After all, having given expression independently for all this, so why is it Aryabhata gives one more verse? So this seems to be redundant, so we do not need this. So this is the kind of question that he raises, and then he says, so this can be considered as a different way of arriving at the same result, so that you can sort of cross check one with the other. Okay. So that is the purpose of this, and his commentary goes like this: prasadhya parshve. The sadhanam is basically computing. So prasadhya, so this pra shabdaha prakrishtavachi. So prakarshena means depending upon the case which you are currently handling, depending on whether it is circle, trapezium, this whatever. So you have to appropriately find the side. Prakarshena sadhayitva, that is what it means. So kaschatayoh parshvayoh prakarsha. In fact, he goes on. Let us consider this figure. So in this, so vistarartha and ayama. Okay. So phala is basically can be defined as product of two things. So what is that? Vistarartha and ayama. So ayama is the height and vistarartha is so half of this. So in the case of a triangle, so what happens to the face? So it just collapses to 0, right. So b plus f, f collapses to 0. In the case of a rectangle, so f is same as b. Okay. And how do we go about for circle? He says vrittakshetre vishkambharthaha vistaraha paridhyardham ayamaha. So the ayama is the kind of distance of separation between the faces. So in the case of a circle, what you have to conceive of is vishkambhardha is to be taken as vistarardha. Okay. So vishkambhardhaha vistaraha paridhyardham ayamaha tadeva ayata chaturashra kshetram. So this is the kind of ayata chaturashra, you can visualize it to be a rectangle. So even this circle can be conceived of, okay, in that sense. So it is this is how this verse has been explained by Bhaskara. In fact, further there is a very interesting discussion. So I wanted to just quote this, a certain maxim which has been employed by Bhaskara to justify the presence of this verse here. Okay. So अथ कथम एकेनैव यत्नेन फलानयनं प्रत्ययकरणं च साध्यते. So in Tamil they say, so you throw one stone, you get two mangoes. Oru kalla rendu manga. So something like this. So ekenaiva yatnena means in one effort. Phalanayanam pratyekaranam. Phalanayanam is finding the area and pratyekaranam is sort of verification. Okay. So pratyekaranam cha prasadhyate. Athedam pratyekaranartham prakritam sakatham phalanayanaya bhavati. Atha phalanayanarthe katham pratyekaranaya. Naisha doshaha. He says there is nothing wrong in this. So he says anyartham prakritam anyartha sadhakam drishtam. Okay. Anyartham prakritam means it was started in a particular way for a particular purpose in mind, but it can also serve certain other purposes. Okay. So this quotation is quite interesting. Shalyartham kulyah praniyante. Kulya means water canals. Okay. So shali means dhanya. Okay. So shalyannam. So during Naivedya we say, so shalyannam nivedayami. So it is this basically a form of rice. Okay. Shali. So shalyartham kulyah praniyante. So the water channels are created to water the fields. Tabhyascha paniyam piyate upasprishyate cha. So incidentally somebody can go and use the water for some other purpose, so nothing is lost. So it is in this sense, so we can understand that this shloka, so which has been composed by Aryabhata, so can serve several purposes. Okay. So now I move on to yet another interesting topic, which actually forms the basis for one of the construction methods which has been described by Aryabhata for finding the sine table. So this half verse, paridhehe shadbhagajya vishkambhardhena satulya. So this is a statement. Paridhi is circumference, paridhehe of the circumference, shadbhagajya. So jya refers to the chord. Okay. So in fact suppose you consider circle AB is the chord, so which is referred to as jya. So this portion of the circle, so this is referred to as dhanuhu or chapa, which actually means bow. So this looks like, the arc looks like bow, and any arc length is referred to as chapa or dhanuhu or any synonym for that. So this chord AB is referred to as jya or guna or shinjini. There are various terms which have been used. So this is sort of conceived as a bow and this is conceived as a string, and they all mean string. So what is stated in this verse is shadbhaga jya, so 1/6. Okay. So if you conceive of a circle, so divide it into 6 equal parts. So the chord corresponding to 1/6 of the circumference is referred to as paridhehe shadbhagajya, and he just states vishkambhardhena satulya. So this is same as the radius. So this is pretty evident. So if you think of this triangle OBC, so which is an equilateral triangle, so we have this chord which is same as the radius. Fine. So chord of 60 degrees is same as the radius. So what is the purpose of stating this? In fact he says prayojanancha asya shadbhagajya pradarshanasya samavritta paridhipadam chindyat ityasyam karikayam vakshyati. So Vakshyati means he will state. So in fact Aryabhata is going to make use of this in yet another verse wherein he is going to present the sine table. So this is what Bhaskara says, Prayojanancha asyaha. The purpose of defining this can be understood with the verse beginning with Samavritta Paridhipadam Chindyat. So we will come to that in a minute. But before going to the procedure which has been delineated by Aryabhata for finding the sine table, so we will discuss this very important verse which has been quoted in various forums in various ways, and it has also been misinterpreted in various places. So Chaturadhikam Shatamashtagunam Dvashashtistatha Sahasranam Ayutadvaya Vishkambhasya Asanno Vritta Parinaha. So Chaturadhikam Shatam Ashtagunam, the first half of the verse basically presents the value 62,832. So how does it go about? Chaturadhikam Shatam, so 4 plus 100, Ashtagunam multiplied by 8, and Dvashashtihi Sahasranam, Sahasra is 1000, 62,000. So this refers to this number, and what is stated in the later half of the verse is Ayutadvaya Vishkambhasya. So what does this number correspond to? So this is the number which has to be employed in order to obtain something. So Ayutadvaya Vishkambhasya, Ayuta is 10,000, Ayutadvayam is 20,000. So if the Vishkambha diameter happens to be 20,000, then this number which was stated happens to be the circumference. So what is stated is the ratio of circumference to the diameter. The use of the word asanna has been discussed at great length. So why did Aryabhata use the word asanna? He would have simply said Vishkambhasya Vritta Parinaha. Asanna is something which is nearby, close by, okay, so which can be understood to be approximate. So we will see how this has been analyzed, but before that I also wanted to give this verse as an example of the use of Bhuta Sankhya, and also to say that this same value has been given by Bhaskara in a slightly different way. So Vyase Bhanandagni Hate, see Bham, Bham is star, so it refers to 27, Nanda, so Navanandas are famous, so it refers to 9, Agni is 3, see, so 3, 9, 27, so this is what it is. So Vyase Bhanandagni Hate Vibhakte, Vibhakte is divided, so divided by Kha Bana Surya, Kham is 0, Bana is 5, see the word Shara has been employed to refer to number 5. So why is Bana 5? So this Pancha Bana, see Manmatha is considered to be Pancha Bana. Why is he Pancha Bana? Very good. So that names you have got it, but then the significance is the following. So Manmatha, if he shoots arrow, so all the senses will be simultaneously attacked, you will lose yourself completely. So that is why he is called Panchabana, okay. So that Khabana Suryaihi Parithihi Susukshma, okay. So we will leave it. So this is a fairly, this Susukshma in the sense there are various approximations which are being given, this is a far better approximation, that is what we need to understand. So now I present the discussion which has been presented by Bhaskara to you on the use of the word asanna. Asannaha means nikataha, nikata is close by. So then he asks the question, kasya asannaha, so close to what? So there are 2-3 things which are used. One is sukshmasya parinahasya, this is one way of saying. So there is a parinaha which is very sukshma, which is very accurate. So this is close to the very accurate value, this is one way of saying. But then he says katham vijñāyate sukshmasya asanna iti. So na punaha vyavaharikasya asanna. So this vyavaharika value is just taken as 3. So, this can be close to this or close to that also. So, asanna is something which is common to both. Yavata ashruta parikalpana sukshma vyavaharikayoho tulya. In fact, in the addition there was a problem. So, the shruta parikalpana is what is found in the addition. So, I was just breaking my head. So, how is the shruta parikalpana is something which you try to create in your own mind. So, kalpanam is something which is your imagination. So, shruta parikalpana, it does not make much sense. When something is unheard, then you have to imagine. So, that is why this should be. So, this yavata, it is just I believe because of this savarna dirgha. So, they just split it as shruta parikalpana, that is my guess. So, yavata ashruta parikalpana sukshma vyavaharikayoho tulya. Then he says naisha doshaha. So, sandeha matramidam. It is true that your objection is valid. Then he says sarva sandeheshu va idam avatisthate. So, it is a general maxim which is very important to understand. So, he says vyakhyaanato vishesha pratipattihi nahi sandehad alakshanam. This will be quoted very frequently in the study of philosophy, vyakarana and all that. So, he says vyakhyaanato vishesha pratipattihi. Whenever there is a sort of doubt which arises, then you have to resort to the tradition. So, how it has been analyzed, how it has been understood. So, vyakhyanataha means, so a certain explanation which has been offered in the tradition. So, from that we understand certain special meaning, vishesha pratipattihi. Tasmat, therefore we say sukshmasya asannaha iti vyakhyāsyāmah. Since the tradition says that this is close to the accurate value, and therefore we will say asanna means only this in this context. Athava, or else he says asanna shabdena tat samipavarti nabhidhiyate. Let us not take the word asanna to be something which is close by. Samipavarti means that which is residing close by. Tena cha tadeva asanna shabdena nochyate tarhi kinchid anyad bhinnam. Yadi vyavaharikasannaha vyavahar. See, this is a different way of looking at that. He says if you, let us not debate on that. So, if you say vyavaharikasya asanna, vyavaharika is already a gross value, asanna is closer to that. So, which means much grosser. So, vyavaharikasya asannaha, if you say vyavaharikadapi papiyan paridhihi syat, you will get a much grosser value for the circumference. Nakaschit papataram prayasam karoti. So, no one is going to make some effort in specifying some value saying that this is going to be much grosser and therefore you use this. So, this does not make much sense, and therefore, by purely logical reasoning, so we can arrive at the conclusion that asanna has to be understood only as something which is very close to the exact value. Then he asked this question, atha asanna paridhihi kasmatu uchyate na punaha sputa paridhireva uchyate. So, this is a similar question which Nilakantha also asked, and then beautifully explains what one means by irrational. So, in fact, which I think Professor Srinivas will discuss that quotation later. So, here Bhaskara says saha upayaha eva nasti yena sukshma paridhihi aniyate. He categorically states there is no means by which you will be able to exactly state the perimeter. So, here he sort of concludes the discussion on the use of the word asanna. Now, I move on to the method which has been described by Aryabhata to find out the tabular or signs. So, generally in almost every astronomical work or mathematical work, we will see that a certain method has been described in which typically they will divide a quadrant into 24 parts. So, as shown in the diagram. So, you take the circle, you take this quadrant O P0 P24 and divide this into 24 equal parts. Okay, the points are marked as P1, P2, P3 and so on. So, what is it that we are interested in? So, we are interested in the chord lengths, so which is basically sine, you understand. So, the projections which have been shown here P1 N1, P2 N2, P3 N3 are basically the sine. See, if you consider this triangle, see O N2 P2, the right angle triangle. So, P2 N2 is basically sine. If you consider this as the angle, see P2 O N2 is the angle and the sine is P2 N2. So, these are referred to as gyas, and we denote them as r sine of I times theta. So, theta is 90 by 24, so which is 3 degree and 45 minutes, 225 minutes, clear. So, the purpose is to determine all the PINI, okay. So, the 24, the last value obviously is going to be OP24, which is same as the radius of the circle, okay. And once these values are known, PINI, which are referred to as, in fact, to be precise, they should be referred to as ardha jya. So, because jya is the total chord length, okay, as I showed here. So, this is jya and ardha jya is half of it, which is what is sine. But for the purposes of convenience, so people have started using jya itself to refer to ardha jya. So, this is understood from the context. If we know the r sine values corresponding to the multiples of theta, so from 0 to 90 degree, then for any intermediate value, so we use the interpolation, and usually this first order interpolation is employed, and if more precise values are required, so later second order interpolation formula has also been stated. I think maybe Professor Sriram or myself, we will do it little later. So, what is the verse? So, in fact, it was referred to earlier, see paridhe shadbhagajya vishkambhardena satulya. So, this specification of radius as equal to the value of chord 60 was in connection with this verse. So, samavritta paridhipadam chindyat tribhujat chaturbhujat chaiva samachapadyardhani tu vishkambhardhe yatheshtani. So, this is the geometrical approach to construction of the sine table given by Aryabhata. Vritta paridhi padam chindyat. Vritta paridhi is the circumference, okay. So, circumference of the vritta, circle. Padam refers to 1/4. So, vritta paridhi padam refers to 1 quadrant of a circle. Vritta paridhi padam chindyat. Chindyat means may you divide, may you split. Tribhujat chaturbhujat chaiva. So, you should conceive it as triangle and rectangles, chaturbhuja, okay. So, vritta paridhi padam chindyat tribhujat chaturbhujat chaiva samachapadyardhani tu vishkambhardhe yatheshtani. Without the detailed commentary given by Bhaskara, so this verse as well as the next verse which has been presented by Aryabhata, which is analytic approach, is going to be almost impossible for us to understand. So, the value of chord 60 was stated to be r, and this value is basically 3438. So, this is pretty evident. So, because usually what people do is in almost all the astronomical texts, but for some, so this circumference is taken to be 21,600, which is basically 360 times 60. So, 360 degrees into 60 minutes. So, the number of minutes in the circumference, or rather the number of units in a circle is taken to be 21,600. Now that Aryabhata in his verse Chaturadhikam Shatamashtagunam, so he has given the ratio of the circumference to the diameter, which is essentially pi. Once you know that, then you know what radius is. Radius is 21,600 by 2 pi. So, this was sort of stated by Aryabhata, and this will be very close to 3438, this value. In fact, Bhaskara, So gives all these values. So while explaining in this verse in great detail. So how do we proceed? So by geometrical construction. So all that is required is, so this value initially you know, so you have to just take this 3438 is known. So since you 21,600, the value of pi is known and therefore the radius is known. Okay, we will start with this. Then if you look at carefully, so since this was stated to be radius, consider this triangle OBC. If you consider the triangle OBC, so this is radius, so BC, this angle is 30, and therefore since radius is known, BC is known, so sin 30 degrees is also known. So sin 30 degrees is basically the 8th sine. If you conceive it to be 24 parts, so 30 degrees is going to be the 8th sine. Now you know, since you know the radius, you also know sin 30, okay, r by 2. So this is basically r by BC is r by 2, and therefore this is also known. Now we consider this OABC. So this is the kind of chaturbhuja which you can think of. So sin 60 is AB and is also equal to OC, but you know r by 2. So you do this r square minus r square by 2. So you basically get this value OC. So now you know sin 90, you know sin 30, you know sin 60. So what is to be understood in general is, if you know sin theta, then obviously you can get sin 90 minus theta. Okay. So this is known. Okay. Then since 30 is known, so you also know verse 30. So this verse is basically, so r minus r cos theta. See, sin 90 minus theta is basically cos theta. So r minus r cos, see in this diagram, so OC is basically cos theta, cotija, and CD is the shara. Okay. So OD is r, so OC is r cos theta, so r minus r cos theta is basically CD. So this is also known. So once it is known, so you have sin 30 and verse 30. You know r cos theta, so r minus r cos theta is known. So verse 30 is known. You just do this. So BD, if you see, you know BC, you know CD. So now you can, this in this triangle BCD, you know BD also. So what is BD? BD is basically the chord of 30 degrees. We started with chord of 60 degrees, which is basically radius. So now we have come to chord of 30 degrees. So half of it is going to be r sin 15. Okay. So you can keep on extending this kind of an argument and you will be able to construct the entire sine table. So the principle is just simple. So r sin theta gives r cos theta and that gives r verse theta, which is r minus r cos theta, and from sin theta and verse theta you will be able to, this is what we have shown here, you will be able to get theta by 2. So once theta is known, 90 minus theta is known and theta by 2 is also known. So with this you will be able to construct the entire sine table. I am just going to show this how this scheme will work. So you know 8th sine. So once you know 8th sine, which is 30, so you can get the 4th sine and see theta by 2 and 90 minus theta. So 16th sine is known. From 4th you can go to 2nd and on the other side you can go to 90 minus theta is 20th. So you can follow this tree and this will give you most of the sine values, and you should start with again 12th, so 45 degrees. So for 45 degrees all that you need to do is you have to just draw a line GD. See, this GD gives you the chord of 90, so half of it is going to give you. So this GD, how do you know? So you know r, so you find r square plus r square root 2 r, so root 2 r is known. So then you know 12th sine and then you follow the same tree. So 6th sine, so here if you go, this is 24, that is not required. So from 6th you get 13th and 18th and so on. So you will see that all the 24 sine values can be easily obtained by this geometrical approach. Okay. So with this Now I stop the discussion on Aryabhatiya. So, we will continue in our next lecture. Thank you.